Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.
Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.
By Abraham Lincoln.
By Abraham Lincoln.
1. 7 years ago.
1. 7 years ago.
Our fathers brought forth upon this continent.
Our fathers brought forth upon this continent
A new nation, conceived in liberty.
A new nation conceived in liberty.
And dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
And dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Now, we are engaged in a great civil war.
Now, we are engaged in a great civil war.
Testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war.
We are met on a great battlefield of that war.
We have come to dedicate a portion of that field.
We have come to dedicate a portion of that field
as a final resting place. For those who gave their lives. That that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper. That we should do this. 2. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate.
2. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate.
We cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground.
We cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground.
The brave men, living and dead.
The brave men, living and dead.
Who struggled here. Have consecrated it far above our power. To add or detract. The world will little note. Nor long remember what we say here. But it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause. For which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. And that government of the people, by the people and for the people, shall not perish from the earth.